Welcome to Immortalize Guide on Choosing the Right Lawyer. This video is part of Immortalize Choose the Right Service Provider series. Part 1 of the series shows you how to decide between the different categories of service providers. Once you have decided on a category, we'll explain to you how to choose within a category. This video is part 2 of the series and explains how to choose the right lawyer. It's important to find a right and trusted lawyer because this is the person you'll be telling all your darkest secrets to and revealing your personal information like where all your assets are. Finding this perfect mate is also extremely tough. There's a lack of information and trying to compare whatever little information you can gather is a dreadful pain. In our attempt to get pricings from law firms through mystery calling, we found that to get an answer for even the simplest question like, how much does your will cost, takes between 20 minutes to 6 weeks. Some didn't even answer their calls or reply to emails. That's very little customer service to talk about, and the experience was generally unpleasant. In today's service-oriented world where consumers want information now, this is just unacceptable. That's why we gathered the information on behalf of everyone to make it easier for all to find the right lawyer. Through this video, you will get an idea of what factors to consider when choosing your lawyer, why those factors matter, and see how to easily filter through the data we've collected for you to find your perfect fit. Let's start with an overview of the factors to consider. These factors are a combination of your constraints and your personal preferences. We'll discuss these factors individually and show you where to filter for this criteria on Immortalize Marketplace, immortalize.io. First up, type of service provider. There are many life, death, estate, and legacy planning providers going from online wills, financial firms, insurance companies, all through to funeral parlors. For the purpose of this video, we will only look at lawyers. Next, type of services. Not all lawyers do wills. In fact, in our conversation with lawyers, some have expressed that they try to avoid doing wills if they can because it's not very profitable and there's a high liability. Filter for law firms that do wills. Next, office location and operating location and why they matter. Office locations are where law firms have an office or physical presence so that you can arrange for an in-person meeting. For example, if you live in Australia and needs to do a Singapore will, you may want to engage a law firm that has an office in Australia so they can sign your will in person. Operating locations are where the law firms can operate in. For example, the lawyer may have an office only in Singapore, but is licensed to advise on matters in Singapore and Australia. This may be applicable when you have assets in more than one location, as the will you do in one location may not be applicable to all your assets in other locations. Next, specialized and other services. Not every lawyer can advise on Sharia law for Muslims or is an expert in LGBT+ estate planning matters. We have included some specialized services to help you find the providers that can advise on such areas in case you need them. Next, let's look at how you can filter for your personal preferences, starting from mode of contact. In today's COVID-19 world, you may prefer to have conversations with your lawyer over video call first and go down to the office only when you need to. For your convenience, we have added a bookable via Immortalize selection where you can filter for the law firms that you can get real-time information or book instantly. Alternatively, you may prefer the traditional way of seeing your lawyer in person. Next, firm size. Some people prefer bigger law firms for their wide presence, while others prefer to do their private matters with smaller, more relatable law firms. Coming up, price. This is probably the key decision factor for many. Here's a disclaimer because price can be controversial. With collected price information based on what's available on the law firm's website, through mystery calling, and also voluntarily by providers who have signed up on Immortalize platform and graciously agreed on giving price transparency to the public. for missing data, it could be because 1. The law firm complained and didn't want price transparency. For law firms who aren't into helping making things more convenient for you, we are fine with dropping them off your radar. 2. We didn't manage to get the data. 3. We haven't got around to getting the data. Things we learned from collecting pricing information are: you always need to check what's included in the price. The cheapest ones often have many restrictions like limits on number of beneficiaries. Everything else the same. Thus, the more expensive offering means you are getting better advice. There really isn't an objective standard for this. Once you have shortlisted some firms, you will be able to compare offering details side by side. Now, let's talk about service style. Some lawyers are professional and straightforward, while others are personable and thoughtful. What kind of advisor can you relate most to and work best with? For lawyers on Immortalize platform, we have sought to enhance convenience for you by profiling them. You can get more information about individual lawyers through their profile link or through our interviews with them. And lastly, reviews and referrals. What does others say about this lawyer or law firm? As with all precautions regarding reviews, good reviews can often be faked, while bad reviews may sometimes be for unreasonable clients. We make the system as fair as possible for both sides so you can make the judgment call. Congratulations! We have now gone through all the key factors you need to know to find the right lawyer for you. Once you have a shortlist, make use of our other functions like Quick Consult, where you can have a quick chat with lawyers, ask them more details on what you need to know, interview them before committing to one. Explore now at immortalize.io. Immortalize. Leave a legacy.